Hey Guitar Warriors, my name is Ben Morrow, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my tips and secrets from my many years of playing with the stars. Today we're going to keep going through some basic chords. I'm going to have you learn A minor and D minor today. Okay, let's get right to it. A minor, the fifth string is going to be open, so that means there's no fingers touching that string. We're just strumming it and it's ringing open, okay? The second finger goes on the second fret of the fourth string. The third finger squeezes right in next to it on the second fret of the third string. The first finger is on the first fret of the second string. And the first string is ringing open. Okay, this is what it sounds like. Great chord on the guitar. You're going to be using it all the time. What I always recommend to people, you gotta get a good little curl going in your fingers. You got to think of little hammers going down like your fingertips. Okay, and you're going to try to squeeze those fingers in between the fret wire and stay in this area here. So not on the wire, but in between. And you got to think of this as a shape. Okay, that's how I think of these chords. It's a shape. This shape, you're going to be using it a lot in the future. You're going to be moving it all around the guitar. You're going to be using it all over the place. So you're strumming from the fifth string down. In the beginning, the best way to think about it is we're just going to avoid that bottom string. We're going to avoid playing that sixth string. Okay, that shouldn't be ringing out. In the future, you're probably going to be muting it with your thumb coming over the neck of the guitar. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Just think about that shape, and once you hold that shape, you should be able to just strum with this hand now. So let's try that a little bit. So just this song is going to have two measures of A minor in the beginning. So that would be 8 strums. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you have that once you have your fingers down, you should be able to just strum it with no problem. Now, what you got to look for in this chord is that first finger has to be nice and straight down onto the note. If that first finger leans into that first string, it's going to mute the note out of that first string. And we need that first string to ring out. Okay, the fifth string is ringing open, and the first string is ringing open. So when you get the chord and you're holding it, try to play one note at a time to see if they're all coming out. Okay, I can hear that top string ringing out. Okay, and again, if that hand is kind of leaning over, you're going to get a muted string. So this is the area you want to look out for on this chord. Okay, use your fingertips, get a good curl in the hand, and be careful that you let that fifth string and first string ring out. Now I'm going to give you another chord, D minor. Now this is another one that when you're playing A minor, many times D minor is coming right after it or somewhere in the same song. This one, it's a little bit harder. This one's going to use your pinky. This is the shape. So the fourth string is open. The third string, you're going to have your second finger on the second fret. On the second string, you're going to put your pinky on the third fret. And you're going to put your first finger on the first fret of the first string. Again, this is a shape that you should get used to. You're going to be using it all over the guitar eventually. I'm going to say you can use your third finger on the second string. I see people doing that sometimes. And as you go up the neck with this shape, it's a little bit easier to use that third finger. But in this case, it's much easier for me to use my pinky here. Now in the beginning, your pinky might not be that strong yet. So that might be something you have to work on. But the good thing is, this is a chord that you can practice that will get your pinky stronger, and then you'll be able to play more and more chords and have more fun learning songs on the guitar. So one more time, open fourth string, second finger, second fret of the third string, my pinky on the third fret of the second string, my first finger on the first fret of the first string. And we are avoiding playing the fifth and sixth strings. So the bottom note should be that fourth string open. It'll sound like this. And again, if I play one note at a time. Okay, that's D minor. Now, we're going to practice going back and forth from A minor to D minor. Now, What I've said in some previous videos, and I think it's good to think about, is in the beginning, you many times beginners end up lifting their fingers too far off the guitar and then putting them back down and then lifting them too far off the guitar, and that takes time and you're not able to change chords quickly. So you really want to map out, if I was going from D minor back to A minor, map out what my movements are going to be and think about it. So this second finger, it's only jumping across, down I would think of it because the note is getting lower. It's going across to the second fret of the fourth string. So second fret of the third string to the second fret of the fourth string. So you don't have to lift it up that much. It's just making a very small movement. Your third finger is coming down on the second fret of the third string. Again, not a big movement. Your pinky's lifting up. That first finger is just moving from, it's going across the strings this way, down from the first fret of the first string to the first fret of the second string. So it's not that much of a movement. So just keep that in mind, that it's a very short movement. You can almost let the fingers stay touching the strings. It's just you're moving it as quick as you can. So let's play, we're going to do a 2-chord song, A minor to D minor. We're going to do 2 measures on each chord, so that would be 8 strums on each chord. When you're making the change between A minor and D minor, you're going to have to take a second and get your fingers on the right spots or right strings. And then once you got that, you can continue strumming. And then when you do your 2 measures of that one, you got to stop for a minute, take your time, and again, try not to lift the fingers too much, and you're going to move to your next chord. Eventually, you're going to be able to move fast enough so you can keep a good rhythm with your right hand, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So here's what it would sound like, 2 measures each of A minor to D minor. Here we go. So I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So stop, get your next chord set up. When you got it, start strumming again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop, get your next chord ready. Once you got it good, then do your 8 strums. 1. Stop for a second, get your next chord again. You see I'm barely lifting my fingers off the strings. I'm just kind of sliding them over. Now, once you get that a little bit, okay, and I would say just, every day try to go A minor to D minor, A minor to D minor. Once you start to get it, you're going to be able to strum and keep the rhythm. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. It may take a little while before you get here, but it's good to know what you're striving towards. So I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. Keep that rhythm. That's our little song, our little 2-chord song. And if you're getting ready to learn how to play songs for the first time, I recommend picking 2 chords and going back and forth, and that's what you should practice. That's what you should practice every day you can pick up the guitar, and that way, that's going to get you in the fastest way possible to learning songs and be able to play songs and have fun on the guitar. All right, that was a good little introduction for A minor to D minor. My name is Ben Morrow, musician to the stars. If you like this video, please hit like. Please subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in private lessons, go to my website, benmorrow.com. Please keep an eye out for the Guitar Warrior comic book, which is coming soon, and follow the Guitar Warrior on social media. And that is how you shred on the guitar.